is now threatening the left side, so ForGG has to be very careful where he moves his forces. Instantly has some tanks ready to react. There are turrets coming up everywhere. Mines being put down, some by Leta, some scans going off. Turret and the CV building it going down, so now it's just going to be a little bit of a siege fight here. Nothing much else in the way of happenings. First starport now finally up for ForGG, so he finally feels that he has the economy to start getting his own drops up. But Elite is going to have a lot more dropships coming up for him. Also now adding another command center, so he's going to expand yet again, most likely to the south. Going to float it far, far, far away. Far, far, far away. Unless he decides to build it, might actually float it to a different position. We shall see. We shall see. He has even more forces now moving in closer. They're trying to take this high ground here. Moving in with tanks, sieging them up. Has some Goliaths and other tanks moving in close. But I think ForGG actually has, yes, he has plenty of reinforcements. All the tanks also sieging up. All going to siege up next to each other. And I think Leta might actually not be too successful. Goliaths finish each other off. Scan going off there for ForGG, but he is actually going to use his tanks. The reinforcements coming in a little bit late. Leta again going to go for a drop. A lot of Goliaths alongside some tanks inside of those dropships. He's going to see what actually tries to drop onto the forces of ForGG now that he's trying to take out. Has only 3 tanks against a lot more of ForGG. Scan going off trying to take them out. Scans going off also for ForGG, and now 5 dropships already and raring to go. And so I think Leta might want to drop. Okay, he's going to drop outside of his natural. He's actually going to start clearing up the pathway outside of his natural. Instantly clears up all the tanks. Also probably going to take out this barracks very soon. There's another tank that planted on the low ground by ForGG. Also gets taken out. So Leta now just trying to possibly go for sort of a pincer movement. Going to try to take absolute control of the map. Might actually be going for the north position. I think that's the most vulnerable that he has at this point. Well, has one tank going to start shelling at a turret. Probably going to take it out. Probably going to try to go for a drop. There's another tank and a Goliath coming in very close to take out the tank shelling as his position, and I'm using the word tank so much I don't know what the hell is going on. At this point, Leta just trying to find an opening in ForGG's defenses. ForGG doing a very good job of taking overall, getting a control tower now, so he's going to be able to go for drops soon. Also has the science facility up. I think at this point Leta should have his own science facility up as well. Go for full-on upgrade. So science facility coming up for ForGG is going to try to get an upgrade advantage if nothing else. Not even sure if Leta has gone for upgrades yet so far. Pardon. Still has a lot of dropships flying around. Some more tanks being sieged. Interestingly enough, ForGG put down a turret there at the forecourt position. I'm not sure if he was thinking of expanding there, which would be far too dangerous in my opinion. More putting down a turret simply to spot possible drops coming in. Actually, an expansion coming in at the 9 o'clock position. I believe that's ForGG planning down an expansion. They're going to try to take a 4th base. Leta's still sitting on his 3, most likely getting a 4th very soon. Racks being built again by ForGG because he's lost his initial one, so he's going to add some more factories. Has a lot of tanks moving in at the north, and Leta now has 1-0 upgrade, I believe. Let's see if he has an advantage there or not. ForGG still at 0-0 upgrade, so Leta has an upgrade advantage and has a lot of those dropships, so he has much more maneuverability as well as he can take out ForGG's tanks faster with his own tanks. And ForGG trying to threaten this 4 o'clock that's now coming up. Not really sure how successful he's going to be. On the opposite side, Leta has a few forces ready to attack the 9 o'clock position, but I think there are far too few of them to really do any sort of damage. Again, the dropships coming in. Going to start dropping right among the tank line. Instantly take everything out. Just everything ready to take out, and just Leta's going to move down this high ground. Going to start sieging everywhere. Going to try to clear up ForGG's forces. ForGG has reinforcements moving in very close, very quickly. Try to take it out. Moving in with plenty of tanks. There's one tank there at the distance. Again, Leta just flying everywhere. The dropships surrounding enemy tanks and taking them all out. ForGG has no time whatsoever to try to escape. Engineering Bay now being built by ForGG. Most likely lost his initial one to Goliaths or such, so he's going to add even more turrets so far. Leta still at 5 factories, I believe. ForGG, I see 3 inside of his main, and those 2 in the middle also producing. Still, the fact that he's managed to hold the middle and managed to keep those factories alive is really helping ForGG out, because there's 2 factories that are producing tanks at a high rate. Just gives him an all-out resupply route. He's always going to have some forces moving in from the middle rather than moving in all the way from his base. It gives him a very, very short resupply route. Gives him a very, very short resupply route. Very easy way to reinforce all his forces and defend against anything that Leta might be thinking of. So done a pretty good job of spotting overall everywhere, and just still a little bit economically behind, I gotta say. Leta's still riding that early 14cc that he managed to get off and defend, and now a drop gonna go in on the main. There are a lot of turrets there, but the dropship managed to drop a lot. So I believe Leta at this point is now going for the supply or for the tech, either for the supply depots or for the factories. They're going to start shelling everything here. Any forces that come in, they're just going to start shelling them from a distance. Also have some Goliaths to support. Some dropships coming in from ForGG, though, going to start dropping upon those tanks. Some of the buildings are going to float off. And ForGG, oh, look at that spread. Beautiful spread, beautiful spread. Goliaths and tanks coming in very close. So Leta has managed to take out several supply depots. Not too much else. It's not threatened the tech, has not threatened the production, has taken out some supply, but honestly I think he lost far too many forces for that to have been worth it. He managed to keep alive most of his other forces, now gonna lose several of his SCVs as he's moving them up. And is now, though, closing in with some SCVs towards ForGG's buildings in the middle. And ForGG has no force. That's all of his forces. He moved back with drops to try to defend this. So we're going to see if Leta actually managed to make this pay off. Both factories being floated away. Try to desperately keep them alive. And, one of ForGG's biggest advantages during this game has now been lost. And those two factories are not going to be producing for a while. ForGG is going to have to move in with reinforcement force. We're going to see whether ForGG actually floats his factories all the way into his base, or just plants them a little bit closer and tries to put machine shops there. ForGG again trying to drop some reinforcement forces, but I think at this point Leta has so many forces down the ground and everywhere. He's taken the entire right side of the map. Just has to take the main at the lower right base to really take it out. ForGG getting some of his tanks caught in tank fire. One barely managed to survive, but honestly ForGG at this point just has lost some forces that really shouldn't have. Now has put down his factories again. Not going to have enough time to add machine shops or anything. Not really going to build too much from them. They're going to be completely compromised and taken out. Trying to move some Goliaths and tanks into Leta's base, into Leta's natural, but Leta has some tanks to defend on the low ground, probably has some more to defend. Some drop ships coming in, gonna start dropping on the high ground, but I just don't think there's enough GG coming in from ForGG, or never GG, or never. I don't think never GG. I don't know. But, well, beautiful game by Leta there. Redeems himself after his loss to Flash. Gets in a little bit of trouble on the way. Probably goes for a second thinking, am I gonna get disqualified? Probably thought, oh crap, I'm gonna get disqualified again. But in the end, he does not. So Hite Sparkyz done a great job of pulling back here. They were 2-1 under at one point in the game, but managed to come back and win this. Pretty good job overall. Leta, Harangi, even Jill, despite losing. All the players, whether they won or lost, have played beautiful games. Justin also, and both teams, I gotta say, can't be too disappointed overall. ForGG just could not, get back from the disadvantage that he had early on, from not managing to crush that 14cc after his cheese was unsuccessful, didn't manage to follow it up too well, tried his best, but didn't really manage to, and in a straight up macro game, Leta just managed to completely outmaneuver him and just take him out. So Hite Sparkyz get a very important win that is trying to keep alive their trying to desperately keep alive their playoff spot. ForGG actually running into the booth there. I forgot my stuff. So yeah, Hite come out victorious. KT desperately needed a win to try to get themselves a playoff position, but just not managing here against the Sparkyz. So this has been an insane set of games, and I need a rest. My vocal cords need a rest. I think you guys need a rest. GG guys, wrenching out. Thanks for listening.